Hi everyone, my name is Sureka and welcome to this overview video about the PK4 Time Tracker. The PK4 Time Tracker is a native Salesforce application that has many different ways of tracking time. And because we are within Salesforce, it gives you some unique advantages. One, of course, is the ability to report and analyze data because of Salesforce's tracking abilities. The second is the fact that because of the way we are configured within Salesforce, you can actually track time to absolutely any object that you have within Salesforce. And third, because we're within Salesforce, you can integrate to any other application very, very easily. So I'm going to show you some of the things that are possible within the Salesforce, within the PK4 Time Tracker for Salesforce. Let's look at where all of this data gets stored. This is what we call the time tracker detailed record. And every time that somebody's tracking time, you'll get this level of detail about what they're tracking time to, if it's to a project, if it's to an account, if it's to a case, if it's to an opportunity, whatever it is that they're tracking time to, you'll get this level of detail with the start and end timestamp, and all of that gets created in every single record. Now, once these are created, depending on how you set this up in your configuration, you can get either a monthly or a weekly time header for each person. So I'm logged in as a manager, and therefore I get to see the time headers for all of the people that are on my team. And when I come in here, I can take a look at all of their time, in this case for a month, and I get this nice calendar view here. I can take a quick look, make sure that everything's okay, and if everything's all right, then I can go ahead and approve it. And if I think there's something that needs some discussion, I can go in here and put in a message, and then when Gail Armstrong logs in, she'll see that message and she can make the required corrections. So I can look at this and approve the time here. So there is a time approval mechanism that works within this system. Now, this is a standard timesheet mechanism for people that tend to work on the same project for a given length of time. This is a good way of entering time, especially if they do this at the end of the week. They can come in and put in all the different things that they worked on, quickly put in the times across the dates on the top, and submit it at one shot. So this is a standard time sheet mechanism. There's also a multi-line mechanism. If you want to do multiple projects over a day, then you can come in and enter that here. There's a time review mechanism that also allows you to look at my time in detail, and also at a weekly summary that gives you, for your own time, what you've done over the week, right? And then there are a bunch of tracking mechanisms. These are what are known as timers. This is a live timer. So what that means is that I need to click on a start, and the timer starts when I click on that button. And running, it will continue to track time to this particular account and this combination of a project and task. And when I click stop, it will stop tracking time to that. So that's what we call a live timer. Now this, on my opportunity, I have a manual entry timer set up. So when I've done something after the fact, I can come in here, put in how much time I spent on this particular task, put in any notes, and submit it. So this is known as a manual entry timer. We also have a third kind of timer, and I'm going to show that to you on your case. What happens here is, as soon as I open a record within my cases, it automatically starts tracking time to that case. So it's called an auto timer, right? So it's three different kinds of timers in addition to the time sheet. Now, a couple of things I wanted to point out on how you can summarize and look at records. I'm going to show this to you on our project detail. So look at this. I can set up a planned hour for the project. Every time somebody logs time in, it goes against this actual hours logged. And then you can have a formula field that shows you how much time is still available. So you get a bird's eye view of the project right here. And if you click on related, then you can look at all of the details of the time that different people have put on this project, right? Now, I've shown you how people can enter time, how the time can be approved by a manager, and finally, that time can also be invoiced. Now, this is set up to do invoices automatically based on the time. And you can set that frequency up, whether you want to do that every week, every 15 days, every month, whatever you have set up, it will do the invoices on that order. And then you can come here, take a look at the invoice, make sure that everything looks okay. And you can also look, once you do that, then you can send the invoice out to your customer. Or if you need to make an in here, if you look at this invoice was already sent out, and you see that it has a format that's been set up that you can look at. And this is a format that goes through to your customer. You can modify this format to include your logos, your colors, and so on, right? And there is a PTO type. You can apply for paid time. So there are different types of vacations here. I've chosen one. I've put in some details and I can click on save. Now this will go to my PTO manager and my manager can then approve or reject that the time off request. There's also a way to do expenses, very similar to what you saw on the PTO. So you can choose a business expense category. You can put in all of your details. You can also choose to upload a file if you have the bill. So you can do all of that and submit it. And again, your manager gets to see that and can approve or reject that, right? And here's something new that's also available. As a manager, this is a new add-on called the Shift Manager. So if you have shifts, in this particular case, I'm setting up shifts for a hospital, but you could do this for a retail store, you could do this for a warehouse, whatever needs shifts to be managed, you can whatever way you want, and then you can assign those shifts to people. Let's say I want to assign this to one more person, I can drag and drop this and put it here for Manasa, and she will now have that shift assigned to her. Now, when Manasa logs into her Salesforce ID or maybe on the Experience Cloud, she gets to see all the shifts that are assigned to her, and she can check in and check out, and that will track the time that Manasa has spent on this project. This is how you can manage projects. And there's a whole set of reports here. This is a project profitability report. If I go back, you'll see that there's lots and lots of reports based on projects, based on opportunities, based on expenses, all kinds of things. So that you get an overall view of what's going on with all of your projects. So give it a try, give it a shot, see how it works. If you need some support, give us a call.